The explosive threat is particularly insidious because all of the ingredients required to assemble an improvised explosive device are readily available at a variety of farm and hardware stores. The intensity of the explosive detonation is limited by the expertise of the person assembling the device and the means of delivery. Although the weight of the explosive depends on the means of transportation and delivery, the origin of the threat depends primarily on the access available to the perpetrator. Operational security procedures will define the areas within or around a building at which a device may be located, undetected by the building facilities staff. These security procedures include screening of vehicles, inspection of delivered parcels, and vetting hand-carried bags. The extent to which this inspection is carried out will determine the size of an explosive device that may evade detection. Nevertheless, it is unlikely that a large threat may be brought into a building. As a result, a parcel-sized device may be introduced into publicly accessible lobbies, garages, loading docks, cafeterias, or retail spaces, and it must be assumed that a smaller explosive device may be brought anywhere into the building. Although operational security measures can drastically limit the size of the explosive device that could be introduced onto a building site, there is no means of limiting the size of the explosive that could be contained within a vehicle traveling on the surrounding streets or roadways. Explosives weigh approximately 100 pounds per cubic foot, and as a result, the maximum credible threat corresponds to the weight of explosives that can be packaged in a variety of containers or vehicles. The Department of Defense, or DoD, developed a table to help indicate the weight of explosives and deflagrating materials that may reasonably fit within a variety of containers and vehicles. The table also indicates the safe evacuation distances for occupants of conventional unreinforced buildings, based on their ability to withstand severe damage or resist collapse. Similarly, it indicates the safe evacuation distance for pedestrians exposed to explosive effects based on the greater of fragment throw distance or glass breakage or falling glass hazard distance. Because a pipe bomb, suicide belt or vest, backpack, and briefcase or suitcase bomb are specifically designed to throw fragments, protection from these devices may require greater safe evacuation distances than an equal weight of explosives transported in a vehicle. This table shows safe evacuation distances for liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG threats. Press the Documents button on the bottom of your screen to view this table in more detail. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or ATF, reports on incidents, casualties, and property damage for all states. During 2002, it lists 553 actual bombing incidents, 32 of which were premature explosions, injuring 80 people, killing 13, and causing over $5 million in damages. Nearly half of these events were against buildings, and nearly a quarter were against vehicles. Only 2 domestic terrorist bombings involved the use of large quantities of high-energy explosive materials. Although these events represent the largest explosions that have occurred to date, they do not accurately represent the actual domestic explosive threat. The 1995 explosion that collapsed portions of the Murrah Federal Office Building in Oklahoma City contained 4,800 pounds of ammonium nitrate and fuel oil, or ANFO, and the 1993 explosion within the parking garage beneath the World Trade Center complex contained 1,200 pounds of urea nitrate. Every year, approximately 1,000 intentional explosive detonations are reported by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, Bomb Data Center. As implied by the FBI statistics, the majority of the domestic events contain significantly smaller weights of low-energy explosives. This image illustrates the breakdown of domestic terrorist events from 1980 to 2001. The vast majority of the 294 terrorist incidents, 55 suspected terrorist incidents, or 133 prevented terrorist incidents involved explosives, and 75% of these events occurred in the 1980s. The explosive that was used in the 1996 pipe bomb attack at the Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia, consisted of smokeless powder and was preceded by a warning that was called in 23 minutes before the detonation.